I have some exciting news with regards to Zilliqa, even though we haven't really done much with regards to the price, but there has been quite a lot of improvements, and I'm sure you guys haven't really observed, but there's a lot happening to Zilliqa, so you are supposed to be getting excited. And for the people who are very techy and very savvy, right, obviously Zilliqa opened up another portal, or rather I think it should be like an improved developers portal where people, or rather the people who are responsible for creating all these awesome dApps, can be able to easily access this information, which is very important for adoption and just utility purposes. So it's very easy to sort of deploy and just be able to download and clone the Zilliqa repository, and then you are able to configure and just do your own thing. So this is very important. We need to create an environment which is similar to Ethereum. I mean, if you take a look at why Ethereum is super successful with regards to adoption and just people creating on it, it's because they have an environment which is very conducive for a lot of developers to actually utilize and find information. I mean, for those of you who code, right, I mean, if you use Solidity, right, it's very easy to find information once you encounter a problem. So they have to really make similar environments in order for Zilliqa to have usability and adoption, and for people to just migrate and use this amazing sharding blockchain, which has got like infinite scaling capabilities. So anyhow, let's look at the price of Zilliqa. We are obviously looking at the daily, right? The daily hasn't really dropped as much as I was anticipating, because if you look at Zilliqa in comparison to BTC, right, obviously BTC dropped from 12,500 all the way to about 11,300, but Zilliqa didn't really budge a lot, and this really shows a whole lot of resilience, and that is something which is very exciting to note. And obviously if you take a look at the weekly, right, we are holding a very significant level right over here, because we spent weeks facing this amount of resistance. So best believe all that resistance has turned into support. So if you guys are looking for buy entries, right, obviously let me switch over to another chart right over here. So let me look at the USD tether. So getting to look at, well, let's switch over to BTC. The BTC chart, I think it should be here. So if you take a look at the weekly, right, we are on a very significant level, and if there was going to be like a worse case scenario, right, we might obviously end up dropping as low as 157 Satoshi right around this area. So that is basically about a 10 to 15% price drop. That's going to be the worst case scenario, because as you can see, the red line is actually the should be the 20 weekly exponential moving average, which is going to turn into major support. So if you look at the grand scheme of things, right, obviously we've had just a very minuscule pump in comparison to where we used to be in the past, and this really gives a whole lot of hope to people who really want to capitalize off of the technological capabilities of Zilliqa. So now switching over to the USD chart, right, worst case scenario should be around $0.15, like over half of 1 cent. Yeah, so that's obviously going to be the worst case scenario. So if you take a look at the TD sequential, right, the TD sequential has started printing an uptrend. As you can see here, we are having 1 2 3 bullish candles, and right over here we had the 9th TD sequential, and that really signified like a drop down in terms of the price of Zilliqa. So we are getting to get rid of this particular correction right over here, and if all things go well, provided the entire cryptocurrency and the traditional stock market doesn't end up crashing, right, then we have like a very good likelihood of a continuation of the bullish momentum of Zilliqa. So of course, I am still looking forward to the day when we are going to end up cracking this particular resistance. I thought we almost had it last week. As soon as we crossed the 3 cent level, the 3 cents level, then we are obviously off, and we are obviously going to endure those explosive price gains. So I'm obviously looking forward to this particular area when this particular resistance is going to be broken, and we are not very far away from it. I mean, I was really expecting the price of Zilliqa to really end up dropping, because in comparison to other alternative cryptocurrencies, right, this correction that we recently had as far as Bitcoin is concerned, right, a lot of different alternative cryptocurrencies ended up dropping by about 40 to 60%. So with regards to Zilliqa, we only dropped down maximum 10%, which is very sort of appealing and very exciting and very heartwarming with regards to the future price of Zilliqa, because initially, before a lot of these alternative cryptocurrencies started pumping, right, like for example Cardano, VeChain, Zilliqa was the forerunner. You know, it was the first one to really have like an explosive price sort of movement right over there. So it is obviously very natural for it to obviously continue leading the altcoin rally as soon as we are done having this massive correction. And we are obviously right now just filling up a lot of fuel in order for us to continue going up, provided the traditional markets and the entire cryptocurrency markets do not really experience another flash crash like we did in March. Remember what happened in March, right? By the way, now that we are approaching autumn, for example, in Europe, a lot of different countries such as Germany, they are planning to have another lockdown. So I was looking at some information with regards to the traditional market and how everything is performing. If you take a look at it from an economic point of view, right, a lot of European countries are transitioning into a phase where we might experience potential lockdowns, and that's obviously going to have like a negative impact on the traditional markets and Bitcoin as well, and the whole entire cryptocurrency market. So that's just something that we definitely have to look forward to, and we are supposed to be observing, because I mean, if we are going to have like another massive or rather significant crash like we did in March, right, then we might end up having some shorts, and potentially we are obviously going to end up capitalizing and just taking advantage of that particular price movement to the downside. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to. With regards to Zilliqa, right, everything, we are still on track. If we take a look at the smaller time frames, right, we are obviously transitioning from this particular low, and we might end up just going to the upside. So I really think that this downturn, as you can see here, we had the 9 TD sequential that really signifies like an end to the downtrend, and obviously we had this particular Wyckoff sort of accumulation phase, and I really believe that we might end up just sort of propelling to the upside. So if we switch over to an oscillator such as the RSI, right, we are obviously coming from the very extreme oversold areas right over here. So I am really convinced that we are going to end up cracking this resistance right around the 3 cent level, and we are going to be having like an explosive week this particular week. So today is the 23rd of August 2020. So hopefully by September 15th, right, we should be having like a very different narrative. So that's just something that I really wanted to update you guys about with regards to the price of Zilliqa. So if we take a look at the previous all-time high, right, the previous all-time high of Zilliqa was around 23 cents. So that's only about 90% away from the current price. And if we take a look at the all-time low, right, this was around 0.2 of a cent, and we actually blew by about 804%. I mean, if you really bought the bottom, then you should be sitting on a sweet 8 times return on your investment, and that is pretty significant. So congratulations. So with regards to the all-time high, we only have about 90% more remaining in order for us to go to the previous all-time high. So that is something that we are definitely looking forward to. And the market cap is about 64, right? So for some reason, Zilliqa is the 64th largest or rather most expensive cryptocurrency in terms of market valuation, which is very good. So in case we end up being top 10, right, that really translates to a whole lot of gains on your portfolio. So anyhow, I think that's all I have for you today. In case you guys have got any other amazing news as far as Zilliqa is concerned, please let me know in the comment section below. Oh, by the way, let's take a look at the view blog, right? What has been happening to the price of Zilliqa in terms of the transactions and how many people are holding. So right now we have about 674,782 addresses, and the transactions are 6.7 million roughly. So that is what's happening right over here, and we have about 2,338 nodes, and yeah, that's pretty good, pretty significant as well. And I'm looking forward to like seeing the list. I mean the top 10 richest Zilliqa accounts. So yeah, that's probably going to be another video for another day. So it's been your boy Muna, aka Beyond 10x. I mean, for the past 1 week, man, I've been trying to experiment with regards to DeFi, and I didn't really have like a very good experience because I ended up talking about some very questionable type of DeFi project. So that's something that I'm going to get into probably tomorrow. So in case you guys are wondering like what the hell, why the hell don't you have your video on? Well, I just woke up, and right now it's actually it's close to midnight, and like I really look terrible. I'm sure I look terrible as always, but today was like pretty, I was like so depressed for some reason because of some personal issues, not cryptocurrency related. So yeah, so I just thought of giving you like a voiceover, and then tomorrow I'm going to be back. This week I'm just going to be back giving you back-to-back type of information, because I really want to like improve with regards to consistency, because I want to be consistent. And yeah, talk to you a little bit later. Muna, I'm out.